Get them fired up and get them to the staging lanes, baby, because 8th Mile Apparel is now carrying Glowing Bracket Racing merch. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and much more can be yours today by visiting 8thmileapparel.com. We appreciate each and every one of you guys supporting the Glowing Bracket Racing YouTube and Facebook pages.
What's up, everybody? Casey and George here for probably the last show of 2024, December 17th, 2024. Messing things up. Episode 180 of the Glowing Bracket Racing Live podcast. Next Tuesday's Christmas Eve, so that might be tough. George and I both have young kids. We'll see what we can do for you. Maybe we can do something, but it'll be short if it's anything. But y'all know how that goes. Whenever you got those young kids, you'd be lucky if they can actually go to sleep that night waiting for Santa Claus. But we got to thank TSR Racing Products. They got one of those shirts on right now. Power Glides, Turbo 350s, 400 727s, any kind of parts you need, any kind of full transmissions you need. Visit them and get all your stuff in order for 2024. Don't blow those plantaries out on the starting line. Hurt everybody's feelings right now. BRG 3D printed parts. You got any new parts you want on your race car? Got anything fancy that you want that you can't find anywhere else? Brian Garrett, your man. BRG 3D printed parts. That's where you need to go for anything special that you need for your ride. Syntex Printing out there in Temple, Texas. Of course, they've been supporting us for a long time now. Any kind of stickers, any kind of merchandise, any kind of things you need for your business, brochures, flyers, anything like that. I think they even print on those big old pop-up tents that you guys have that you want to have your logo or your name on at the racetrack. Contact Syntex Printing out there. Contact Driven Racing Oil and use the code GBR10. Get your oil, get your speed clean, get your Driven Race Wax. Use code GBR10, get 10% off your order. There's no limit on that. And I want to say that they've been doing all kinds of stuff lately, but they got gear oil, they got transmission fluid, they got all kinds of stuff. GBR10 is your code. Get yourself 10% off your order over there and get everything in order this year. Proform parts, all the giveaways. In fact, one of the giveaways that we're doing tonight is donated by Proform Parts to the Glowing Bracket Racing Live show. All you got to do is be a YouTube subscriber. You can still do that right now. Be a YouTube subscriber. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We're giving away a billet degree wheel tonight. So that way you can have it for over that Christmas break and get all that cam timing correct to get everything degreed in where it needs to be. It's one of the really nice ones, man. I have one, and I'm telling you right now that you can actually see the numbers on it. Proform Parts. It's not the only thing they have. Go visit proformparts.com. They're one of our great partners that have been with GBR for a very long time as well, and always having some new things coming out. Crew Chief Pro software. If you're down there in Immokalee right now, you never know what the weather's going to be like. It was raining last week. You never know. It's Florida down there, but you need some of that Crew Chief Pro to get yourself dialed in, because it might be 70 degrees today. It might be 50 degrees tomorrow. You don't know. Don Higgins got you figured out over there. crewchiefpro.com. And get yourself a copy of that. I'm telling you right now that that's been one of the best things that has ever been added to a racing program, especially for you .90 racers. We got a little bit to talk about on that a little while later in the show. And of course, you want some GBR merch, you can still probably get it for Christmas. GBR hats, hoodies, t-shirts. We're going to have some new shirts coming out pretty soon. 8thmileapparel.com is where you get all that stuff. That being said, George, what are we going to talk about today?
It's a great question, man. That is a wonderful question, Casey, man. Merry Christmas out there to Brian Garrett. Welcome in, dude. That's Mr. BRG himself, guys. So if you got questions, obviously you could probably just type them down there in the chat. And the powers that be who runs said marketing partner might just jump on there and give you the answers right then and there, though, Casey, man. A lot going on, man, as I guess as the crow flies out there in the South. I don't know. Seems like the Immokalee 100 day at this point. I've been
Yeah.
watching racing for I don't know how many days though, but I gotta do this real quick, Casey, because I know, man, I know there's a lot of guys and gals out there who watch quite a bit of TV and just want to have a quick moment of silence for the Yellowstone series. All
We got
right,
to watch
amen.
it yet.
Amen, hallelujah. Now welcome me into the Landman, dude. Landman is
Yep.
about to take
Hey.
over. That's all I gotta tell you. That show had me in the first 15 minutes. I'm like, this Landman deal is about to be dope. So
I
same
watched the
writer,
very
everybody
first
like it.
I watched the very first episode of that actually, and I agree with that. But yeah, I haven't actually watched Yellowstone because I'm real bad about my wife and I. We got to start to finish everything because I'll forget what happened in the other episode. I can't do a week to week thing. So yeah, I agree with that. I know this is a racing show, but yeah, that needed to be talked about. So
Hey, I had to, dude. I had to. On the way out with the Yellowstone, if you haven't watched it, hey, it's everywhere. Just go back and watch it all. It was good all the way through. But come on over here to the land, man, because it's like, all right, we get off of one to get on another, and yo, East Texas or West Texas out there, Odessa and Midland. Um, that place is pretty flat. I just didn't realize it. I guess I get a chance to find out for myself in October. OCP Promotions throwing a race out there at Penwell Nights, and I'll be out there with some cameras. I believe old Mo will be back here in the garage, but I get a chance to see what it's all about.
I have been to Midland, and I want to say that I drove there from Dallas when I was doing a job there back in the day on a military base, actually. And I'll tell you what, I drove through the middle of nowhere forever. Like I'm talking that it was like a reservation or something. You drove and drove and drove and didn't see anything, and then you would see a light, and you never got there. It took forever to get there, man.
Well,
But yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. For those of you that don't know.
Right. Nah, man, I thought I'd throw a joke out there, though, on all seriousness, and wanted to give a shout out to our guys on podcast forum too. Don't forget, guys, you can hit that search button on YouTube when you get a chance, and make sure you're subscribed to that YouTube channel too. Even if you want to say, "Hey, I'm one of the podcast listeners." Coming over to the Facebook and letting us know where you're coming out of, but you guys got just a chance as any. You long truck drivers might be out over the road making some of them part money, or just keeping the lights on, for crying out loud. But make sure you're subscribed over at the YouTube channel. You guys are entered into that free giveaway I think we're doing a month right now, every single month. Any marketing partners out there who wants to jump in on this bad boy, feel free and get on in here. We'll give away y'all stuff to the GBR community too, and show what you got, man. Show what you got for the bracket racing community as a whole. But Casey, man, Immokalee 100 day, do they just start racing in December?
It sure seems like it, man. Got to shout out Monday Morning Racer here in the chat. Haven't seen him for a while, man. I need to give him a call one of these days. Old Lee Craft over there, I'm sure he'll have some stuff going up on his channel after PRI. I'm sure he was there. But yeah, man, as far as I understand, Immokalee, and I could be wrong, but I've always understood that it's an airport that they turn into a racetrack, actually. I don't know if they race year round. I don't know if they only race in December, but like you said, man, it might as well be called at least the December, racing series, because it seems to me like people have gone down there and you don't leave until Christmas time. You go down there about Thanksgiving and you just stay there because they're racing every single day. It seems like they're already racing today again. I didn't even know anything was going on there again, but
$25,000.
I mean, it's full-blown winter series, that's for sure.
$25,000 worth. That's all I know. I think they just had a little bit of rain, actually, man. And you can see it looks a little gloomy out there out in Immokalee. But yeah, man, this is that's the birth of Tony the Rocket. My uncle went out there one time with that little 414 small block and was running like 440. and everybody was kind of turning their head at that old dude. But the birth
Hey
of Tony
man,
the
when
Rocket.
you're at sea level.
Hey,
That's as close to sea level as you're going to get, and ultimately, man, there's there's a ton of people out there, and I am just glad for I'm glad for streaming services like Motor Mania TV that we can actually see this stuff. Because to be honest with you, I would say that you and I are more plugged into what's going on within the community than probably the vast majority of people. And I didn't even know that they were racing right now until I randomly turned on YouTube and said, huh, Motor Mania is live.
yeah, and
So,
that's probably my fault because I knew it. You know what I mean? And they do it every year. So I mean, I knew they were out there. And then if you pay attention to the drone footage on Facebook, and there's a lot of cars out there. You know what I mean? So
mhm,
and the message was somewhere. I feel like
yeah,
McCarty Auto Parts might have a pretty good hand in the back of that one. Brian Garrett says PRI was really good, and old JP Miller says what's happening. Missed you guys at PRI. Yeah, I missed PRI this year, dude. It's just a lot going on. That's the only reason I believe Casey and I didn't get out there. And it might end up being an every other year type of deal for us. You know, we're trying to avoid that PRI plague that everybody talks about, or a flu, or whatever the heck
mm,
y'all talking about that I don't even want. I think last time I came back I had the COVID. So, dog, we we're not trying to get that right now, you know.
yeah. It's I would have loved to have been out there. I saw there was a lot of great unveilings. I've seen some of the PRI footage has been coming out. Um, there's nothing like that, man. We'll be back next year. Um, you learn a ton at PRI. There's just so many people that are, main people in the industry that if you have a question, those are the people you need to ask because they're the people that run that department basically. They're there because they can answer every single question that you have to ask, and if they can't, somebody else there can, and they'll direct you to that person. So I would just like I said last year, um, I would always recommend that someone who is very interested in the motorsports field go to PRI at least one time just to experience it, because you'll never experience an entire city being taken over by just racers that's all anybody wants to talk about, and everybody there is actually knowledgeable, so you can actually learn what you want to learn whenever you're there. It's not a vacation, it's actually an experience, and it's a education at the same time.
Yeah, man. No question about that, dude. No question, Casey, man. So I know we're keeping it pretty short and simple today, man, and got a few things that we can talk about, man. Something everything's pretty small. Main reason we come on is we know it's the Proform giveaway day. We can talk about it mockly and who's winning, who's hot, who's not. Look like old Catfish Lynch. At least last week got on a pretty good roll. I guess it's Jaden Lawler out there taking everybody's money. Um,
Hmm.
so shout
He
out to
got
you guys.
two of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And shout out to those guys getting in a groove this late in the year. I think the casino is like 5 minutes away from there, according to old Chris Galitti. And you know he gonna wind up at a casino just about anywhere there is one, especially if there's some drag racing involved on the back end of it. So, but no,
Oh
man,
yeah.
we got that new segment we've been doing, Casey. I guess we might as well circle to that real quick. That new segment, questions from the pits. This was a good one. This is email, I believe we got, Casey. We will allow it to remain anonymous because that's what we were asked to do. But let's talk about this notion of when you're going to be ready to race in 2025. I myself did see a post that I chuckled at it, honestly. OCP Promotions is practically throwing 9 races if I counted. I don't know if it's 9, guys. I might be exaggerating a little, but Cody Pelage Racing Promotions Facebook page will tell you exact schedule. But I know he's throwing a lot of races, and one of those races just so happens to be out in Kentucky somewhere. And I heard old boy say, or type, I should say, because he didn't say a thing, but he sure typed it. Says, I don't know if my stuff will be ready by then. And I'm thinking to myself, one, we can start here. It's May. So when are you gonna be ready to race if you ain't ready by May, Casey? Answer that question.
Well, I don't know, man. What are we going to do? Wait for the following year? Because May's about the best weather you're going to really get because June could potentially be 110 degrees outside. July is going to be the same. August is potentially the same. I mean, then the year's over essentially, depending on where you live at. You might have September. Sometimes, like where I live, you can race. Realistically, you could probably get through October pretty decent. It starts raining around October 31st, Halloween time and whatnot, and you're kind of just crapshoot. But I mean, I couldn't believe that that was actually said because it's just that's pure proof that you can't make everybody happy because someone's always going to complain about something. That just I don't understand that comment. Maybe it was a joke, but
Maybe. I like to be a
yeah.
nice guy, Casey, man. The way that what I was thinking right off the bat, and this is me kind of being mean, but how long does it take you to run some valves and pull some antifreeze out your motor? Because that's pretty much all you're probably going to do in the first place to be ready to go back racing. Put some air in your tires, take it off the jack stands, maybe uncover it. I know a lot of people don't even
Well,
cover their car up.
if you're rebuilding a whole new motor, obviously it's not going to be that simple, but it's not going to take you 5 months. I mean, it's over 5 months until that race starts. And if you want to be ready, guess what? You can be ready because there's websites like the Buy Sell Trade Group that we took over. There's Drag Race Results Classifieds. There's Racing Junk. You can get a motor if you want a motor. I don't care how backed up your machine shop is. If you were really concerned about making that race, there's a way to make it when you have 5 months. I can
Right, man.
assure you of that.
I got William Thornton in here. I think that's the last name. Thorsten. William Thurston. Sorry I messed up your name, William. He's over here laughing and saying, "You're supposed to run valves." Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I got bored one day and just ran them, so I'm ready whenever it's time to go anyway. Now I'll check them. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is for me. We're gonna be down maybe 2 months at this point here in Texas. It feels like the end of February we'll be out there racing for Flickr or something. Might be a little later than that, or maybe Gleghorn's races start like the end of February. So I don't know, man. I just thought it would be pretty interesting to bring that out, bring that out there, and Brian Garrett's saying the parts of the hold up here, so I'll give a little bit of room, maybe a little room for error there if that's the case. Like Casey's saying, you needed a new part. It ain't gonna be the case with TSR if you need a input shaft or something for your transmission because they're pretty dang quick. So old Driven Racing Oil get you an order pretty quick too. You just need to change your oil and maybe get a filter. I don't know what type of filter you run, but I'm pretty sure Napa might have that. So I mean, I think we were okay one way or the other there, Casey, man. Just thought I'd throw that out there though, man. It kind of
Yeah,
made
Tom.
me a little bit because it's May. Why would you have a race in May? Well, it's going to be 70, 75 degrees in May, guys.
Right.
So why wouldn't we? Oh, it's too early. Where you live at? The rainforest? Where you living at? If May is too early to start drag racing.
That's right, man. I do agree with Tom Worthington's comment here. He says, well, if your stuff gets stuck in machine shop prison, I agree with that. And I've seen that happen before. However, 5 months, man, if they're going to have your stuff for 5 months, then you need to find a new machine shop is what I would say. And I know that the machine shop is the basis of your quality of build, even if you're building everything yourself. It is what it is. But ultimately, if they're going to have it for that long, then the way I see it is if you're 100% dead set on that particular machine shop, then you need to have two motors because you know that it could get stuck there. You're dedicated to those people because they're going to do a good job. That's fine. In my scenario, if I was going to do that, then I would downgrade my program to where I would be able to afford two separate motors, knowing that this guy is going to have my stuff for an extended period of time and I can still go racing. But that's a very real aspect of everything. But I can tell you right now, there are very few machine shops that, unless you are having something crazy built, like I could see, like if you're having an LDR motor or if you're having a Pro Mod deal built or like something specific where you're going to one particular guy, like if you're having a Pro Mod Musi motor built, well, you want Pat Musi to be building that 973 or 6 or whatever they are now, because you want that guy to be the one doing it. Well, you're going to have to wait on that guy to get done.
Right.
For a bracket motor, you don't really need to have that particular guy. There's like I said, machine shop is the basis of the quality your build can be. I don't care how smart you are. If they don't have the surface of the cylinder heads decked properly, if it's crooked, same thing with cylinder heads, blocks. I don't know what I said there, but cylinder heads and blocks, obviously what I'm talking about. If they screw that up, then you're going to have problems. So, I mean, ultimately, you're at the mercy of the machine shop, but there's plenty of people that can set a machine up. And there's plenty of reviews now on the internet. And guess what? You're never going to hear the good ones. You're only going to hear the bad ones. So if you only see a couple bad ones, they're probably pretty good.
Yeah. And again, guys, I'm leaving room for error. Probably should have said that in the very beginning of this. Jimmy Noble's always keeping me straight here. But if you are building a chassis and you're only starting right now, I still think you ought to be ready in May. I'm sorry. Maybe some BRG holdups. You got BRG, what Brian is saying there. He's saying parts are on back order. I give you room for error on that too. But anyway, I'm gonna get off that subject. But that was an interesting episode, segment, I should say, of questions from the pits. You guys want to get in on questions from the pits? It's just an email to goingbracketracing@gmail.com. A message over there on the Facebook page, on the Going Bracket Facebook page. Any way you feel free to get in contact with us. If you have Casey and my telephone number and you want to just send a group text message, whatever the case may be, feel free to shout it out. We just like talking about it. So I thought that was pretty funny from Anonymous. So hang in there, guys. We're going to come right back at you. Don't forget, we got that giveaway coming up here in about maybe 15, 20 minutes. So don't go anywhere. And make sure you hit that subscribe and that follow and that bell notification. Be back in a couple seconds.
TSR Racing Products has everything you need to make your Power Glide Turbo 350, Turbo 400, and 727 transmissions the best they can be on the street or at the track. With exceptional products, customer service, and over 30 years of experience, TSR Racing Products is always available to help their customers with any of their transmission needs. In-house machining ensures you only receive the best products from TSR Racing. Visit TSR Racing Products at tsr-racing.com or give them a call at 800-394-5889.
BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts are able to provide you with whatever you desire to enhance your drag racing operation. Items like safety belt magnets, nitrous bottle holders, and even quick release delay box mounts are able to be obtained from BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts. Have a look at top-selling items such as helmet hooks and steering wheel hooks, which are proven to make it easier to maneuver throughout your race car. You can contact BRG Motorsports 3D printed racing parts at telephone number 765-729-1177.
Our third generation slim wireless vehicle scale is worth the wait. You can read cross weight, side by side weight, and front and rear weight in addition to the standard weight for each wheel and total vehicle weight. You can also view on the included backlit LCD screen, complete with control buttons. The full-size 15 by 15 inch aluminum scale pads are only 1 5/16 inches thick. Each pad can hold up to 1,750 pounds for a total scale capacity of 7,000 pounds.
Welcome back. Going Bracket Racing Live. Episode 180, Casey. Man, we've been blessed, I should say, to do this 180 times now, and still having a whole lot of fun doing it, man. I look forward to Tuesdays, let me be honest to you, man, and in the next Tuesday after that, and then whatever the case may be, dude. But you know how we do it over here, guys. We can't say enough about you, GBR community is what I like to call you, because we all keeping it real together. Whatever you want to talk about, come on, bring it on over here to the Going Bracket Racing YouTube, Facebook, podcast, whatever form you're catching us on. We'll talk about it. So shout out Proform, guys. I want to say maybe a week or two back, I saw a Dominator coming out here pretty soon, or Dominators. As you know, Proform's going to put as many versions that they can out. So big things coming out of Proform carburetor area of the game, and Casey and I have quite a bit of data on those carburetors, guys. So do what you got to do. That's all I got to tell you. So Ken Jones Performance right there. TSR Racing Products, Driven Racing Oil, BRG Motorsports, Team 14 Motorsports, Crew Chief Pro, Syntex Printing. Who am I forgetting, Casey? I don't know. Oh, 8 Mile Apparel. Get you some of the Christmas gear. Maybe they'll put a Santa Claus hat over the top of your logo. I don't know. Those guys over at Your Ad Here, Casey and George, I'll tell you what, top of the line marketing partners. Will make sure your product is well represented on the Going Bracket Racing YouTube, Facebook, podcast, TikTok, wherever we come to it. We'll make sure you're out there. I want to say we hit close to 1 million views this year, so can't be done without you guys, though. Thanks for continuing to watch. Thank you for subscribing, hitting that like button, hitting that share button, telling your friends and your family, telling your little buddies and them junior dragsters. I see a lot of GBR stickers on those junior dragsters. Don't think we forgot about you guys out there too. So keep it up. You are the next generation of this sport. So Casey, man, where are we gonna go next?
Well, something that just needs to quickly get talked about, and we'll probably get someone on probably one of the first shows of 2025 if I have to just give a general idea of probably when that'll happen. But I saw at PRI, Kenny Noling, new president of IHRA, announced they have secured sponsorship. They were going to try to bring some national events for IHRA back in 2026. They have secured enough sponsorship where they are actually going to have 3 national events, including fuel classes, Pro Modified, I assume Mountain Motor Pro Stock, just like your normal national events were back in the day. Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, the ride classes, it's going to be the real deal again. And he keeps repeating IHRA coming back, the glory days, something like that, former glory, something. But yeah, man, I'm very interested to see, and really especially the reason is I can't imagine that there wouldn't be one of these national events at Darlington, which obviously isn't terribly far from me. I'm interested to see whether they run Top Fuel, and everybody else for that matter, quarter mile. Darlington has one of the longest shutdowns in the entire country, so they have plenty of room to shut the cars down. That could be something that's very interesting if IHRA chose to run quarter mile and had the ability to run quarter mile. Obviously, it's not a bracket racing subject, but we're all fans of the sport in general. And if Top Fuel went back to running quarter mile, IHRA could really be a threat to the professional level series in NHRA, in my opinion.
That's true. Definitely leave your comments on that one. I agree with that 100%, Casey. A lot of people wanting to see quarter mile racing on the fuel category again. Shutting it off at 1,000 feet. Yeah, it gets it done. But that whole heading on down there and running 440 at 340 is just appealing to me. They might be in the 430s at this point, Casey. I really don't know. But back in the day, I remember watching Tony Schumacher run low 440s in the whole quarter mile. So, I don't know what kind of nitro content that would take. I know there's regulations on all that stuff, but I don't know what IHRA does along the side of that. But I am going to throw my little 2 cents in here, and maybe even a monkey wrench. Okay, do believe that they also mentioned that at PRI that Murder Nova was going to be driving a pro mod. And if we have to be honest here, Casey, we've talked about this a few times and about IHRA bringing some of those no prep kingers over to the IHRA ranks to run pro mod. Well, we saw Kai Kelly win something this past couple of weeks too, man. So wouldn't it be interesting to see some of those no prep king racers jump in on that IHRA pro mod series?
I think that ultimately they're all going to go pro mod racing because Kai proved that they can compete with all of those main guys, because guess what? They're professional racers too. And I'd be willing to bet that Kai Kelly's ran more races than probably any professional pro mod racer did per year for the last couple of years. And that's the reason why he succeeded the way he succeeded. But I don't know what the deal is with that particular series. I know Discovery killed the show as far as I'm aware. And I also have heard that their live streaming MPK deal might be going down on YouTube. I'm not 100% certain on that. Let us know in the comments if that's true or not. I don't follow it that closely, but
Is that where it
make no
happens?
mistake.
I haven't seen it since it was on TV. Does it all come on YouTube now?
Yeah, it's all similar to what GBR Media does. In my opinion, not as nice as GBR Media or Motor Mania as far as coverage goes, but they do have a MPK type YouTube streaming service. I just think that they all have pro mods. Make no mistake about that. Pro mod is a class. It's not a car. It's their cars are built to suit MPK rules. I kind of like the MPK rules just because the cars look more like the real cars. However, I think all those guys could compete. I think you put glue down on the surface and people can do stuff. People forget that Justin Swanstrom had a radial versus the world car for a very long time. Kai, again, just beat the crap out of everybody. Outran the guy in the finals too, put one of the fastest runs the entire weekend down. I heard Mark Mickey just opened a transmission shop. My buddy Phil Kraus told me that he just opened a transmission shop in Bradenton, so that building will probably be paid off with West Bucks Pro Mod Series within this winter time. But there's a lot going on in the Pro Mod world, man, and I know that obviously Larry Jeffers is very tied into the Pro Mod type deal, and I think Pro Mod has the ability to be a flagship series. I don't think that without having big flames out the headers and going 300 mile an hour, I don't know if that's going to bring fans without that, which is why they're bringing Fuel Series. And they didn't say what kind of Fuel Series, because don't forget, on, I want to say, one of the first shows of this year, Larry Jeffers was talking about Top Fuel Door Slammer. So, you never know what could happen.
You're right, man, and I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. And what I really think is Kenny Noling is smart. Number one, very, very smart businessman when it comes to knowing how to put butts in thy seats, either by way of free entry and pack one car as full as you can get it and come on in, something like that, So we know already that MPK is always packed. Always. So if they're packing NPK and we can get, let's just say, 8 of those NPK racers to come race at IHRA Pro Mod, say hello to your fan base. It's coming along.
It's already there.
All those guys got to do is say, I'm going here, and the people will be there. It is what it is, right? So I'm looking forward to this, man, and heck, man, I need anybody to stream it? Let me know. I'm right here.
Well, and speaking of that actually was what I was going to say next. Eric White in the YouTube comments, only if they can get a TV package. That's where the NHRA money is at. And I actually heard Kenny say at one point that I think it's a video that was shared during the live announcement at PRI to the Going Bracket Racing Facebook page. So go to our Facebook page after this show's over and you can watch the live announcement where Kenny's talking about all that. But I want to say that he actually said that they have secured some sort of streaming package where you will be able to watch it 100% for free through like Roku or something, that free deal that we all have in our houses with the little remote and everything. So I know you can watch a lot of historical NHRA races on there. They have an NHRA channel, so I assume that means they're going to have an IHRA channel. And he said you're going to be able to watch it live also, I think. So don't quote me on that. You can go watch again on the Going Bracket Racing Facebook page. Anytime there's anything like that out, our page is where you want to go, and you'll find all the information you need right there on the Going Bracket Racing Facebook page. So follow that if you haven't already to get all your updates. But a lot of exciting things coming out of IHRA, man. I know obviously Larry Jeffers is all about racing. He's all in on everything. He bought an organization. He obviously has owned a very successful race car shop for a very long time. And he's keeping it going.
In the grand scheme of things, I'm going to say what I feel like most of our viewers are thinking. What on earth does that mean for the bracket racer, right? I don't really want to jump into it because I don't have the answer myself, but I did see, and so did you guys, if you watched, and Casey did, the purses went up, so it means something. I think every World Finals, the purse went up pretty substantially.
Yeah, even junior dragsters are winning $2,500 at the bracket finals. So I mean,
so
it's a
we
lot of
might
people
run
don't race for that at a local event all year.
That's right. We might get the old trickle down effect here, which I feel like just if they're smart, they put a like a Jegs All Stars bracket series, some kind of even out here at the Motorplex, they're starting to showcase a Super Pro and Pro segment of their Stampede of Speed. Everybody needs to go to that format, in my opinion. It doesn't need to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, we need to be of course Sunday. We need to be Monday through Sunday, and let's just find something to do that whole time. Because I feel like we doing ourselves a little bit of disservice, not necessarily a party, but a party. I guess I don't know how else to put it. More to come on that, guys, because I feel like there's still a lot of meat on the bone for that topic, Casey. Especially as we talk about bracket racing. I need to know what's going on. I'm an IHRA member. That is my sanctioning body. Need to know what's going on the bracket racing side of things. So
I'll tell you what, I like Tom's idea here, pro mods versus fuel alters. I've said that for a while. I know there's a lot of fuel alters in your area, actually.
they already
George,
got
the
chaos series.
Yeah. And Lee Kraft, he's the man that could put that word in everybody's ear if he hasn't already. The Monday Morning Racer himself, I know he's got a lot going on with that Nitro Chaos series and Funny Core Chaos and all that stuff, so he can talk to the right people. But dude, what if they had that Top Fuel door slammer plus fuel altereds? I mean, that would be, you want to talk about a spectacle, that would be the biggest spectacle. That'd be more of a spectacle than Top Fuel would be.
I agree.
I mean,
I like
those guys are crazy. They always
man.
have been. Anybody you ever see in an altered, they're nuts. All of them. I don't care if it's a bracket car. I don't care if it's a fuel altered. I don't care who they are. Anybody in a funny car or an altered is crazy.
Very nostalgic.
And they'll drive it from wall to wall.
Very nostalgic. I mean, I remember watching those cars. Geez, Casey, I've been 6-7 years old watching them cars. The loudest cars on the earth that did the longest burnout. So I was watching. I don't care if I'm scared of noise or whatever the case may be, holding my ears as tight as I can. But it'd be nice to bring that back into the mix on a bigger scale, I think. Because like you said, Casey, that will draw a crowd. That type of those type of cars.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's right. So yeah, we'll hopefully have more information on that. I gotta just get in touch with some people. And figure out if we can have someone in the know on a future show of Going Bracket Racing. We always, this time of year, we always get down low on a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
So
Casey,
we'll bring that to you.
Who won?
Oh man, so we did the drawing earlier today. I know everybody had a scammer going after him there for a second, but George shut that down within. We appreciate you guys messaging us, a whole lot of you guys. I know Tommy Sires was one of them. JP Miller, he was another one. I know that a lot of you guys messaged us, said, hey man, this scammer's trying to take over you guys' stuff. So just so you know, and we saw that and George shut it down immediately. So we appreciate that.
Casey, time out. Hold on. All right. So GBR, we are going to have these giveaways quite a bit more often. That particular scam was very sneaky. He stole our logo. I think he either put a period or a little squiggly line in there as his name, and it just looked like it was GBR responding to you guys' posts there. Tell you some things that we're not going to do. I'm not going to ask you to click on a link. I'm not going to ask you for your password. We ain't going to do none of that. Casey and I will get your email address. We will send you an email. And we will include in that email ties to whoever is giving away said product. So whoever wins this product will talk directly to Proform. Okay. So if you got questions, I mean, you got a good resource right there at the same time. So Casey, man, I thought I wanted to throw that out there because we live in a world of scam one, scam all right now. So be careful out there. In the world.
They won't talk directly to Proform because we were flooding them with a bunch of extra crap and it gets caught in spam filters. They'll talk to me through the Going Bracket Racing Gmail account or through the Going Bracket Racing Facebook page. Typically what I do, first of all, number one, first and foremost, the winners will always be announced on this show. So if we message you and say you won, then just go listen to the last show if you haven't already. Surely if you're entered into it, you're watching the show to see if you won anyway. I would be. And we're going to announce your name live on the show. So the last live feed, before you got that, go see if your name was announced. Then you know it's legit. Number two, I'll message you on Facebook through the Going Bracket Racing account. Sometimes I actually just do through my personal account. So then obviously you for sure know it's me. But either way, just I don't know what else to tell you. Thank you for everybody who was saying this looks scammy, but I can assure you we will never send you a link. So don't ever click a link and you'll be fine, because it doesn't matter if you respond to somebody, if you don't give them any information, they can't do anything. Ask something if you're worried about it, ask me something that only me and George would know.
Safe word.
Yeah. Yeah, say something like that. I don't know.
No.
But I can assure you those scammers aren't going to take the time of day to go back and forth with you. So do whatever you need to do. But 16-inch billet degree wheel, I believe that's how big it is. The winner is Matt Compton. I believe you are from somewhere in Tennessee. Used to be from Boise, Idaho, something like that. I looked at your stuff a little bit. I know you got a purple and yellow dragster or something like that in your profile picture or on your page or whatever. So not a scam. But Matt Compton, congratulations. You won't have to wait forever on the machine shop. Get your stuff done this winter. You can go racing by May.
That's what I'm talking about, Casey.
Yep.
See if I can tag
So no, man, other than that, just hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll be back to you, I would say, probably not next week, because like I said, me and George got little kids. It's Christmas Eve next Tuesday. I'm sure all you guys will be busy too. Don't need to bog you down with anything. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. We'll be here the Tuesday after Christmas. I don't know what the date is on that, but
possibly I might
we'll
be out
back
of town.
for you.
Might be out of town.
Well, we'll see.
Into 2025. Who knows?
We'll see what's happening. Either way, we will for sure be posting stuff and letting you guys know what's what. And you never know. This is about time of year that old Dylan will be calling me saying, "Hey, you need me to fill in for somebody real quick?" So we can always get something going on. But of course, if we don't have George here, it might not be live, but we'll still have something coming out. Might be only a little thing, but we'll figure out what's going on. But either way, we appreciate everybody watching, appreciate everybody that supports GBR. Get yourself some GBR merch, support the show. Congratulations again to Matt Compton on winning that billet degree wheel from Proform. Stumbling all over my words right now, man. It's a weird time right now. For some reason today in North Carolina, it decided it's going to be 70 degrees. So you see me messing over here. I got a heater at my feet because I've been used to it being like 50 degrees out here in the shop at the absolute best, which I know. I grew up in Illinois too, guys, so I'm not rubbing it in your face. I'm just saying it. 50 degrees is cold when you're wearing a t-shirt. So I have a heater at my feet and it was sweating me out, and now I'm getting cold again. So I'm all over the place. But either way, we appreciate you guys watching. We will see you in 2025. Have a Merry Christmas.
Spelled that wrong, Thurman. I'll see you guys later.